Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dice Cast. We're here again from the Just Hammer Bunker. Got another exciting matchup for you. Joined tonight by Justin.
And this is obviously my partner, Nick.
Right on. What are you running tonight, Justin?
I'm going back to my roots. My first army was Idoneth Deepkin. I put them by side while I was doing all my destruction things, and they were kind of, I don't know, they had like the whole just stay alive until turn 3, then Volturnus boosts up the whole army. So I kind of wanted to, Volturnus has been nerfed a little bit this time around, and now I'm looking forward to playing more balanced Idoneth list. What about you?
I'm running a Soulblight list again, and I'm excited to see your Idoneth on the table. This is the army that I first played against you with, first knew you as a player of, so it's nice to see a return to form here a little bit. I'm running a Soulblight list. It's a little bit different than a lot that I've run. It's a lot less monster heavy.
Oh, okay.
I'm running a lot more of the foot troops and the heroes that go with them. There are so many heroes in Soulblight that are able to pass off wounds. I just decided to grab all of them. So
my Dhom Hain looks a lot less good because that's good against monsters. But
is it? Well, I definitely have one. I've got the monster that I never leave home without, and that's Manfred.
The untouchable one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, let's get into the list.
Sounds good. So like I said, I'm returning to IDK for this matchup, but I wanted to run kind of a more balanced, bring a lot of different units list, kind of try them out, see how they are now in 3rd edition. So like I kind of mentioned, I'm in Dhom Hain, which gives a lot of rerolls when you're attacking monsters. My general is just an Achillean King. I always do that just so I can bring my eels as battle line. He will have Born from Agony, which is just +2 wounds. He'll have the 5-up after save Amulet of Destiny. And then his mount trait is Void Chill Darkness, which is really nice. Gives a -1 for any models within 3 of him. Then we have a Tidecaster. I kind of took the Tidecaster. I don't love the Tidecaster in general, but to be able to get an extra artifact, you need to find a small hero. And of your choices, the Tidecaster kind of wins out for me. So he'll have Steed of Tides. He's got a pretty good other spell, so we'll see what he can do. And then I also am bringing an Aspect of the Storm. I think he's been really good since the new Marathi book came out. The Retreat and Charge, he can heal up to twice a turn now with the heroic abilities, so he should be hard to take off, especially with the 5-up after. He's going to actually have the Arcane Tome and the Blades, Sword of Flame, I think is the spell, which is close enough. He'll get a little bit beefed up attack. So then you can't run IDK without a few eels. So I feel like I'm bringing basically the minimum amount I can. I have 2 groups of 3 Eidolon and 2 groups of 3 Morsar. The 2 Morsar and one of the groups of Eidolon is in Hunters of the Heartland. Then I have 10 Reavers, which I would love to bring a lot more Reavers. I only have 10 painted. They used to suck. I need to get more built and a lot more painted. I've been hearing a lot of speculation that they're really good. We'll try out just 10. Then I have 1 Achillean Leviathan, which is going to have the Ancient mount trait. I feel like he's a really nice combo with the Eidolon, kind of really buffs up you against any kind of alpha or shooting that would happen. And then I have 1 Shark, which has the net that basically, if it hits, it stops your opposing army from piling in their opposing unit. So all the stuff still seems really good. It's not all eels, so hopefully I'll be able to do pretty well with it.
So tonight I'm running a Legion of Night list. When I originally started building this list, I envisioned a Virkos list, but then as I put the pieces together, it really felt better in Legion of Night, so I'm going there. I've got Manfred, of course, because it's Legion of Night, Belladama Volga, Gorslav, the Gravekeeper, a Necromancer as my general, and the Necromancer has the command trait that gives a bubble of ignoring battle shock, so that makes him really useful with skeletons. And he's accompanied by a White King on Skeletal Steed, and it's kind of the first time I'm running this unit. I compared it and a Vampire Lord. They're in that same sort of points group and same sort of role, and for this list it felt a little bit better to be running him in with the White King, but it really could go either way with some tweaking. For my battle line, I've got a 30 block of skeletons, 20 block of zombies, and 10 direwolves for wound soaking. Like I mentioned earlier, 3 of those heroes can pass off wounds, so that'll be really useful. I've also got 20 Graveguard and 5 Blood Knights, and I'm running Cogs and the Emerald Life Swarm. And Cogs is especially interesting here because the Necromancer has Morbeg's Claw for a bubble of +2 to cast, and the White King has the Arcane Tome for to make him a wizard, so he'll be able to cast 2 spells at +2. He's a better wizard than most armies have, even though he doesn't start as a wizard, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Running 3 battalions. I've got some things in Hunters of the Heartlands, some things in the Battle Regiment, and some things in Warlord to get that extra artifact, so we'll see how it goes. So tonight we're going to be playing the Veins of Gur, which is going to be similar to the old 2nd edition battle plan of Starstrike, where objectives there's no objectives on the board to start the game, and then at start of round 2 we're going to get 1 in the center of the board, and then round 3 we're going to get 2 more, 1 on each side, in random locations along the field, which always makes this an interesting one to play. Definitely benefits having speed and being able to cover a lot of the board before you know the objectives are going to before you know where the objectives are going to be, so you can get into position for them. For deployment here, I put my Blood Knights into the Legion of Night Deep Strike, so they're going to be ambushing from a board edge at some point. And the Graveguard I put into the Grave, so they'll be deep striking as well from a grave site. I've got the casters on my side all clustered together so that they can benefit from things like the Morbeg's Claw and the Cogs, giving bonuses to cast, and got my big blocks of infantry ready on one side with their speed. I'm hoping that there are some objectives to play over on that side. That's definitely a risk, but it could prove to be a big mistake if nothing comes down on that side of the board. We'll see how it goes.
Well, my deployment, I put my Reavers in, I garrison them in the ship, which is nice. Just that they can shoot from the ship. I don't really want them doing much other than maybe capturing an objective later on. Otherwise, I'm mainly castled. With the speed of the army, in general, I'm not very concerned about being able to get where I need to go. And typically, with how this plays, you're not desperate to get all over the board right off the bat. So, see how it goes.
With the fewer drops, I do have the choice of who goes first in round 1, so I will let you go first.
Sounds good.
Good luck, Chit.
Good luck. So for my battle tactic, I am going to take Ferocious Advance. Sometimes you want to save this one, but because there's no objectives out, there's nothing to gain on those. I'm not going to get to the other side of the board. So I just have to have 3 units finish within 1 inch after running. I'm going to take the Alapex, my Achillean King, and the Scooper Morsarker.
Heroic actions.
I am going to roll for an extra command point with my Achillean King. Also, I hope the audience appreciates that I always try to match the color of my dice. It's 4 up. Nope.
I will be doing the same with Manfred.
Got it. Sounds good. In my hero phase, I'm going to cast Flaming Weapon with my Aspect of the Storm with the Arcane Tomb. He's going to get it on an 8.
I am out of range to unbind.
That's good to know. I'm going to try to cast Mystic Shield with my Tidecaster. He's going to get it on a 9. I'm going to put the Mystic Shield onto my Aspect of the Storm.
Sure.
Alright, so that is going to be it for my hero phase. I'm going to go into movement. So after movement, I'm going to shoot. So I'm going to shoot with my Leviathan into Manfred.
Okay, Manfred will use his free command point for the turn to give himself all-out defense.
Because he's wholly within 12 of the Kaelian King, he will reroll 1s to hit. So I actually am going to spend... I'm going to rethink this. I am going to spend 1 command point to hit on 2s.
Okay, all-out attack there.
And then because I'm in Dhom Hain and the target of my attack is a monster, I will get to reroll all failed wounds.
Sure. So hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s.
Yep. So it's going to be 8. Hitting on 2s. I did not need to spend to reroll 1s. And then I will reroll all fails, so I am going to be wounding on 3s. So I'm going to do 8 wounds at -1.
Okay. The -1 and the all-out defense put Manfred back to his native 3-up. And I will fail one of those. Manfred does fortunately get to ignore the first wound per phase, so he will remain unwounded.
So that's going to end my turn. I'm not in range to charge anywhere. I kind of want to keep my castle up to a certain extent, and I'm going to end my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, for
I
scoring,
did get my battle tactic.
yes, so you will score 2 victory points there. Going into the bottom of round 1, we each get 1 command point. For my battle tactic, I'm going to select the same ferocious advance, and that's going to be with Gorslav, the zombies, and the skeletons. They're all going to be running. My heroic action is going to be to try to get an extra command point with Manfred. Got it on a 6.
I'm going to try to get 1 with my king. I do on a 5.
Okay. Manfred's going to use his freebie right away, and he's going to go ahead and use his command ability for +1 to hit, +1 to wound bubble. The Necromancer is going to go ahead and use the Morbeg's Claw ability, so that's going to be +2 to cast for Legion of Night Wizards wholly within 12-inch bubble of him. Belladama is then going to attempt to cast Cogs. She is not Legion of Night. So she's just on a +1. She'll get it on an 8.
Who cast it? I'm sorry.
Belladama.
Yeah, I'm out of range. So.
And that's going to be set to give +1 to cast, or +1 cast for each of my wizards. The Necromancer is then going to attempt to cast Van Hell's Dance Macabre. Going to get that on a 6. So Van Hell's is going to go on the block of skeletons. Belladama is going to cast Killing Moon. That's going to go off. Manfred is going to cast his War Scroll spell, which is area of mortal wounds. And that's going to go off on a 10. It's going to target that unit that's in front there. So targeting this unit, and then any units within 6 inches of them. On a 3-up, they'll take D3 mortal wounds. Sure. The front unit, yes. 3 mortal wounds. Sure. The unit to my right of them. Nope. Yes, 3-up. 2 mortal wounds. On the turtle, on a 3-up. Yep. 3 mortal wounds on the turtle. On the Alopex, yes, 1 mortal wound. On the unit of eels back there, no. And on the Achelian, is he within 6 inches?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. 1 mortal wound on him. Manfred is then going to attempt to cast Fading Vigor, and that will fail on a 6. He's also going to attempt to cast Mystic Shield, and that will go off on a 5.
He used 3. Oh, that's right. He does +1, right?
Yeah, because of cogs. So Mystic Shield is going to go on himself. The White King is going to cast Flaming Weapons. Gets that on a 9. And then he's going to cast Arcane Bolt. Gets that on a 9. I think that's all I'm going to have that's going to be in range. We can go ahead and get into movement. The end of the movement phase, I'm going to bring down the Blood Knights here. Graveguard will come down. Of the movement phase here, I really moved up to completely body block 1/3 of the field, at least that's the intent, and then positioned to deep strike everything in near the shipwreck here. I know that's going to give an opportunity for Unleash Hell, but I'm hoping I can get in enough to make it worth it, and because we are in the bottom of the turn, hopefully pick up a double here. Do you have anything to juice up the Reaver attacks, or they're just going to be 4s and 4s?
They might be 5s and 4s.
I think they're 4s and 4s base.
Yeah, so they'd be 5s and 4s. On the show.
Oh, but you don't have anything to do with them?
No.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to attempt the charge first with the Blood Knights. They need a 9 here out of the Deep Strike, and they're going to get it with a 9.
I'm going to Unleash Hell.
Sure.
So this would be...
I'll go ahead and make the move first, just in case you pull models, that's after I move. So.
This is going to be 30 shots, because they each have 3. And this will be hitting on a 5, but wounding on a 3 because of the +1 from the Eidolon. It's going to be 11 hits. Seven wounds at no rend.
7 at no rend on the Blood Knights. They're going to be 3-ups. Failed 2 of them. That's going to be 2 wounds on 1 Blood Knight. Next up, I'm going to charge with Manfred. 9 inches. And then the Graveguard, they need a 9 as well. Not going to make it in. I will spend a command point to reroll that. Nope, didn't get in. So they're going to stay there. I feel like that's all right. At the end of the charge phase, Manfred is going to attempt to destroy your faction terrain.
Sure.
On a 3-up, I think. That is a 3. So it is demolished. Roll a die for each model in the garrison. On a 1, that model is slain, and then the surviving models must be set up within 6 inches, more than 3 inches from enemy units.
Alright, so this will be 10. None, or 1 is going to die.
So 9 to set up. So nice being able to turn off the shipwreck. Didn't do a lot in terms of effectiveness with turning your Reavers out. They're not benefiting a lot from the garrison, but still a good effect from it. I will go ahead and fight first then with Manfred. So Manfred is going to be fighting then at a +1 to hit, +1 to wound from his command ability. Going to attack first with Geistvor. So he's going to be on 2s and 2s into the Eidolon. That is going to be 3. You get to ignore the rend.
Oh, damage.
D3 each. 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's really bad.
That is really bad. The Sickle Glaive then is on 2s and 2s. One of them at you get to ignore the rend.
Missed it again. What is it?
2 damage. Six claw attacks then. These are going to be on 3s and 2s. That is 2. 2 damage each.
Yeah, you got the end.
Wow. Did not expect that. That was
really bad.
Unfortunate saves on your side for sure. Your activation.
I'll pile in with my... I will not pile in.
Okay. I will then pile in with the Blood Knights. I have to be a little bit choosy with my pile in. I have to decide whether I want to bring in the Eidolon or not. So just 2 of them going into the Reavers on the charge.
I'll spend all of the nuts.
Okay. I will go ahead and use all out attack on 2s and 3s. That is going to be 4 at -1.
I am +2 to save right now, so this will be 4 4-ups. I missed 2.
Okay, 2 damage each on those.
4.
And then their hooves. That is going to be just 2 at no rend on those. Also 4-ups on those.
Miss both.
Just 1 damage on those. And your activation.
So it'll just be 3 in. So it'll be 6 attacks. 3s. 3s. Just 1.
Okay.
No
any red? 3 up. Hey. At the end of the combat phase then, I believe we're at, the Wounded Blood Knight is going to heal D3 because of the hunger.
Do I have a commit point left?
He's going to get 3 back. You do. Spend that for Battle Shock, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to heal up that Blood Knight. And that's where we'll be after round 1.
I was surprised to lose all my Eidolon guards. I think I made 1 save on 3-ups unrendable, which is really disappointing. But I feel like if I get the double, or if I get priority here, I'm in fine shape. I prefer to be in my position than Nick's, but if Nick gets the double, I could be in some trouble. We'll see where the objective comes down, and then we'll play from there. But I definitely need to try to keep priority here.
I think before priority, we find out where it comes down.
Yeah. It's gonna come down right here.
2 victory points there for getting my battle tactic of running a bunch. Gotta work on the cardio always. And we've got the objective now down near my horde. The gamble may have paid off there. And now we've got a big priority roll going into 2. And you have the choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. If I don't keep it here, I feel like I'll be in a lot of trouble. I do like that I can kind of spread out here. Hopefully get into a spot where I can prevent some pile-ins and do a lot of work on the zombies.
I feel okay about going second in round 2 against a Idoneth list. You never want to be in the position where you're getting doubled into round 3. I feel like against Idoneth, because they can set up that big high tide turn. So I feel okay about going second in this round. Although getting priority there might have been almost decisive.
All right, so for my battle tactic, I am going to take broken ranks and target the zombies.
Okay.
At the beginning, I'm going to do Finest Hour with my Eidolon.
Okay. I will try to generate an extra command point with Manfred. 4 up. Nope.
I'm then going to cast Flaming Weapons with my Eidolon. Just going to get it on a 10.
I'll attempt to unbind that with Manfred. It goes off.
I'm going to cast Mystic Shield with my Tidecaster. It's going to go off on an 8.
I'll attempt to unbind that with Manfred. And that will go off as well.
Mystic Shield will go on... I'm going to put it on the Marshal card.
Okay.
Into movement.
With that, I'm going to go ahead and do a redeploy with the zombies. Six.
Nick was able to get a really fortunate 6 roll on his zombie retreat. So that makes it interesting for my decision here. I think I'm going to make the decision just to try to control the objective rather than try to chase down the zombies. Otherwise, I have a bunch of stuff set up to charge. Alright, into shooting, I'm going to put the 8 shots into Gorslav. So this will hit on 4.
He has lookout, sir, yep.
So we'll hit on 4. Oof.
Rerolling 1s from your Kelly and King.
2 1s here. That's better. And then these will hit on 3s. So it's going to be 4 at -1.
That goes straight through on Gorslav. So he's going to try to pass those off onto the zombies. So on 4's up, 4-ups. He'll pass off 2 of those and take 2. 6-ups on himself. Yes, and on the zombies, yeah, failed all those. 2 wounds on each of those.
My shark is going to attempt to shoot into the skeletons.
Sure.
He will hit. So they will not be able to pile in.
Okay.
And then this will just be a 3. No. Big thing there was just to make sure that they can pile.
Okay. And of note, they are in my Hunters of Heartlands.
Sure. Then I have 9 shots coming from the Reavers.
Sure.
This will be 4s and 4s. A few 4s and 3s.
Where are they getting the +1 to wound from?
We got this on top of the place.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So 3 go through.
At no red, these are 3-ups. Save 2 of them, 1 damage on one.
I'm going to first charge with my Eidolon guard. They're going to get in on a 6. I'm going to attempt to charge with my Killing King.
That looks short.
I think 87. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll.
Sure.
7 will get him in. He gets to do wounds on the charge. I think it's on a 2-up. I do 2 up. Nope. Then I will charge with my big guy. Way in. So I need a 2-up for the charge with the Leviathan to do damage to the skeletons. I got it, and it will be D6 for 2.
They will have their 6-ups. So 2 of them dead. And they died during the charge phase, which is important here.
Sure. Charge with my big guy up there.
From off the tower?
Yeah, from off the tower. I'll get in on a 5. My Morsar down. He roll charge. 11. I'm gonna roll the charge for these Morsar, but I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I got an 8.
I feel fortunate that this is round 2 and not round 3 with as many combats have just opened up.
Yeah. I'm kind of trying to put as much around the skeletons as possible, knowing that they can't pile in. They might be able to get a couple attacks in, but they're not going to really do any damage. Really want to take out this unit of Grave Guard. I'm hoping that between the Bile Shocks and I can do some damage there. So yeah, at the beginning of my command, I can't do any monstrous things there. You're not in range to do anything monstrous there. I am going to do my shocks on your unit of Blood Knights and your unit of Graveguard.
Okay.
So first on the Blood Knights, this will be 3 dice. 3 ups will be a mortal wound, and then a 6 I think is D3.
Sure.
So 2 mortal wounds.
Okay. That will finish off the wounded one. And on the Graveyard.
On the Graveyard. So we have 1 that I pulled out, and 2D3. This will be 5, 6.
6 ups. They get to reroll 1s. So they will save one of those 5 dead Graveguard. And then the 1 dead 1 knight. I also, at the start of the combat phase, my White King, who cast Arcane Bolt on my turn, is going to unleash that Arcane Bolt and do 1 mortal wound into your unit of Eidolon, finishing that wounded one off.
going to pile in here. So he's getting +1 to wound right now from Finest Hour. I am going to spend all out attack.
Sure.
So he's going to start off with the Spear of Repressed Fury. So this will be hitting on 2s. Oh my god, well, no. And wounding on 2s.
Oh.
That was bad. Oh, I get to roll one more. So I get to add 1 to the damage character, or attacks characteristics. That will hit. And that will wound. -2 run.
Straight through.
3 damage.
3 damage? Isn't it +1 on the charge and flaming weapons?
Oh, 4 damage.
4 damage? Okay. 6 ups. That's 4 taken.
So then the next one will be 4 attacks. Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 2s. Can't get any lower than 2s. So it'll be 3 at -1 run.
6s. Made 1. 6 ups. Made 1 of them, so it took 1 damage instead of that. So they've taken 5 damage so far.
And then 2d6 with the sharp fangs. So it'll be 8. And then this will be hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. This is no rend for them.
4 of them on 5s. Made 1 of those. 1 damage each?
Yep.
6s. Made 1 of those, so 2 more. So that's going to be a total of 7 dead from that. So I'm going to activate then with the Blood Knights. All I'm going to get is 1 into the Morsar and 2 into the Reavers. Alright, so I got 1 Blood Knight going into the Morsar guard there. He's got 2 attacks, both hit, 3s and 3s these are, both wound at -1.
These guys have Mystic Shield on them, they'll be on 4s. 2?
Yes, at -1. Just 1 damage. And then the mount attacks, 1 hit and 1 wound, no rend.
4, 3 up.
And then into the Reavers. The lances and blades, all of them hit. 2 of them wound, -1.
6 ups. Nope.
1 damage each on those. And the mount attacks. Oh, I missed an attack with each of them. Do you mind if I make it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, 2 extra lance attacks then into the Reavers, both hit. And 1 wounds at -1.
Is that?
And then into the Morsar, the last lance attack that I missed, misses.
I'll attack back with the Morsar into them.
Okay.
So this will be 7 3s and 3s. So it'll be a 4 at -2.
4 at -2. Into the Blood Knights is 5 ups. Failed all those.
8 damage.
Okay. They are the first 3 wounds they take. They're not within range for deathless minions. So I do get 5 6-ups then after peeling that first guy off, and I made 3 of those. So I'll take 2 more after that first guy dies. And that's because wounds are allocated 1 at a time, not simultaneously.
And then they'll each get 1 attack with the Fang Moors. 3s. And 3s. 1. No run.
3 up. And that will get saved. There was no rend on that one?
No. So this will be 6 attacks. 3s. And 3s. Ugh, just 1.
1 any round?
No.
3. Made it. Alright, I'm going to activate the Graveguard now. Alright, so I've got 8 of the Graveguard in. They are within Manfred's 12-inch bubble, and so that's going to be 16 attacks. The leader of the unit has been pulled, so 16 attacks, and these are going to be on 2s and 3s. Yeah. And then 6s here are mortals. That is going to be 1 mortal wound and 11 at -1.
So he will be on a 3-up save. So he'll feel 1.
It's 2 damage.
So a total of 3 damage with a 5-up. He'll take 2 damage.
Okay.
So this will be 7, re-rolling 1s to hit, re-rolling wounds, 3s, and 3s. Well, let's just see what happens. These are re-rolling.
That was all of them.
Yeah. 6 at -2.
6 at -2. That is going to be on 4s with his +1 for Mystic Shield and then the -2. And I will save 4 of those. So that is 4 going through. He's got
That is really good. Well, I'm not really good. It's a little better damage.
6s. Saved 1 of those. He ignores the first 1 per phase, so he will take 2 from that.
Yeah, that's really good. So this one, I only have 1 attack here. This will be 3 re-rolling. So that will go through Norend.
Norend is on a 2. Saved it.
And then these D3 attacks each. So it'll be 7. Jeez. 2. No, right.
2s. Saved it. I will then activate with Manfred, and he's going to put everything into the Morsar, obviously. I'm going to pile in just a little bit this way. Oops. He's got 4 attacks with Geist 4. These are on 2s and 2s. All hit. All wound at -1.
These are 5-ups. 4. 4
Yeah,
of them.
4.
Me too. This 2.
D3 each. That is 4. And then the Sickle Glaive on 2s and 2s. Both hit. Both wound at -1.
5s. Nope.
2 damage each.
Jesus.
The Ebon Claws on 3s and 2s. That is 2 at -2.
6s.
2 damage each.
Well, let's see. Maybe I shouldn't have gone into him.
Yeah, you should have gone into it.
I'm gonna go with just the Shilling Guard.
Sure. I am going to all-out defense with the skeletons.
3s and 3s. Rerolling 1s. It's 4 at North.
Okay. With the all-out defense, they are then on 4-ups. Saved 2 of them. 1 damage each?
Yep.
Okay, 6-ups. Saved them both.
Wow. Actually, I don't mind it. Then this is going to be 2 attacks. Both hit Norin.
4 ups. Saved 1. 1 damage. Okay. 2 damage. 6s. That will kill one of them.
And then D3 attacks each for 3 at Norin.
3 around on 4 ups. Failed 2 of them, 1 damage each.
Yep.
6s. Rerolling the 1. 2 die. So that is 3 that have died in this combat phase. I will activate then with the zombies. Mostly just to delay the activation with the skeletons a little bit longer, to make those reanimation rolls a little bit more impactful. And I'm just going to get something like 3 of them in.
Okay, so this will just be 3s. Oh, wow. 3s. That will be 2 at -2.
2 at -2.
Or, I'm sorry, -1.
Straight through.
These are D3 damage each. For 3.
3 damage on 6s. That'll go through.
And then 3 attacks. 3 of these. And 3s. Just 1 at -1.
Straight through.
Just 1 damage.
Okay. 6s. Saved it. Thanks.
And then 3 damage, or 3 attacks. 3s. Just 1 at no rend.
Straight through.
No rend?
They have no save.
Oh, 2 damage.
2 damage.
6s.
Oh, 6s, yeah. Okay. The skeletons will then activate. These 3 that are dead will come back on 4 ups. 1 of them will come back. I've got, looks like 1 that can attack the turtle and 1 that can attack the eels. They can't pile in. So into the eels. And then the 1 into the turtle. Hits and wounds, no rend.
This will be a 2 up. Which is weird because it comes through. He's definitely not in. He'll just put him into the skeleton.
Sure, makes sense.
Doesn't really have an option. So the 2-pronged spear is a killing, so I do think he gets to reroll the 1s here.
Yeah, all the Kellian units.
This will be 6. 1, 2, 3. These will be on 3s. And 3s. So it'll be 4 at no rend.
4 at no rend. Into the skeletons are on 4 ups. Save 3 of them. How much damage there?
Just 1.
Okay. 6 up. 1 dead.
The fins, these will be on 2s. And these will be on 3s. That'll be 3 at -1.
5s. All 3 go through.
That's a total of 12 damage.
6s. 3 rolling 1s. Made 2 of those.
And then this, the Jaws of Death hit on 2s. If I guess 6, something happens, but no. And then wound on 2s. Just 1 at -2.
6s.
3 damage.
6s. And that is going to be 2 more dead. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, I will then activate the skeletons. They get, and then I will roll at the start of their activation. There are 15 dead since the start of the phase. These are on 4s.
Jeez.
Ooh, good roll. So that is going to be 10 back to the unit. And so with the one that was in, and these 10 that are all now in, it's going to be 11 into the eels. That is 5 hits and 1 wound. Norend. Do they have battle shock to do?
I can.
I auto pass battle shock on the zombies and skeletons thanks to the necromancer here. I do have at the end of the combat phase, hunger goes off for the blood knights. They're going to heal the wounded one to full, and for Manfred, and he's going to heal. I need to spend a command point then to pass battle shock with the Great
How many do you have left?
That was my last one.
That turn did not go as I hoped. My aspect of the storm really fluffed his attacks hard. I was anticipating that the Graveguard unit would be wiped out by now. I should never have piled in my Morsar Guard into Manfred. He did a lot more damage, and I wasn't anticipating how hard he would hit. And again, I think I did about 4 wounds less than I anticipated, so that hurt. The skeletons was what it was. You rolled better on them coming back, but they didn't do anything in return. All in all, I don't really love my position, especially not having knock-on points on that turn. You get your bottom half of the team.
Yep. So we each gain 1 command point. And you got no victory points there?
No.
Alright. For my battle tactic, I'm going to take Broken Ranks, and I'm going to select that unit of Morsar Guard in the back corner there. I would like to just ignore them because they're over there on the side of the field, but I feel like they're just too lethal to leave alone. For my heroic, I am going to try to get an extra command point here with Manfred. On a 4-up. Got it.
I'm gonna try to do that with my Eidolon of the Storm.
Sure.
You got it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spend mine immediately with Manfred for his +1 to hit, +1 to wound bubble.
So you're down to 1, right?
Yep. From Manfred, I'm going to use the Deathless Invocations ability to bring back Graveguard. It's going to bring back D3 Graveguard. It's going to get 1 back there. He's going to cast Fading Vigor. That's going to go off on a 10. The Necromancer is going to be planting Morgug's Claw again. And he's going to put that on the unit of Morsar.
Sure.
He's then going to also cast Invigorating Aura, which brings back models in a unit. He gets +1 to cast for every other Soulblight Gravelords hero on the field. So 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 4 to cast on this. Casting value 8. It's going off on a 13. That'll bring back 3 graveyard. Belladonna is going to cast Killing Moon on an 11.
That's fine.
She's also going to cast Lichen Curse. She fails that on a 6. The White King is going to cast Flaming Weapons. Gets that on a 12.
Jesus. Yep, that's fine.
The Necromancer is going to cast Van Hells on the Skeletons. Gets that on a 7. You're good. Okay. Necromancer is going to cast Decrepify. That's going to go off on a 7. That's going to be on the king here. -1 to wound and -1 to damage characteristics.
Sure. Until when?
My next hero phase. White King is going to cast Arcane Bolt. Actually, yeah, White King's going to cast Arcane Bolt. Gets that on a 10.
I'll attempt to bind the map land. Nope.
And Belladonna, with her last cast, is going to attempt to cast the Emerald Life Swarm. Gets that on an 11. That's going to go right here. It immediately will bring back D3 models into the unit. And then at the end of the hero phase, it will do it again. So it's going to bring back 3. Gorslav is going to do Deathly Invocations on 2 units. He's going to do it on the zombies for 1 and the skeletons for 2. Then at the end of the hero phase, the Emerald Life Swarm is going to bump into that unit of skeletons and bring back D3. And they're going to be back at their full strength.
That feels bad.
Yeah. Then we can get into movement phase. Into the charge phase then, I'm going to charge first with Manfred. He's going to make it with a 6, with the Blood Knights now as well, and they are in on an 11. The White King is my only charge over here then, and he is going to get it on a 4. The White King on a 2+ will do Mortal Wounds on the charge here. Yes, 2 Mortal Wounds. At the end of the charge phase then, they are immune to monstrous rampages from Manfred, right? Yep. Alright, so they're good there. At the start of the combat phase then, I'm going to activate first with the Graveguard.
I'll spend all of defense.
Sure. And I'm going to spend my last command point here for all-out attack. So these are going to be on 2s and 4s.
Sure.
25 attacks. Good roll. And 4s, 6s here are mortals in addition. That is going to be 4 mortal wounds and 13 saves to make.
13 3-ups. So that's
2 damage each on those.
So that's 10 plus 4, so that's 14 damage. 14 5-ups.
Good roll.
So he takes 5.
Wow, good roll.
I'm gonna attack with everything into your so it'll be 7 attacks going into your Blood Knights. Freeze. Freeze. Oof.
Oh.
Is that real?
Oh, man.
That seems unlikely. Then 3 attacks. 3 is 1 at armor.
3 up. Saved it.
And then D3 each. So that's 6, 7, 8. Threes. And 3s. So that will be 6 hit armor.
3 ups. One of them will go through.
Just 1 damage.
6 up. I'll activate then with the White King. He does have flaming weapons up. He's got 4 attacks. They are on 3s and 3s. All of them hit. All of them wound. They're at -1.
These will be. It's 4. 3 ups. All but 1.
Okay, and that's D3 plus 1 from the flaming weapons. That is going to be 4 damage. Looks like an all-star there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put the Eidolon attack into him.
Sure.
He is my leader, so this will be 3, just 1. No run.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I will you 1 more.
Saved it. You owe me 1 more. What?
No, I know.
That's right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 1, 3, nope. And then another D3, 2, and then no.
Okay. I'll activate with Manfred, actually. He might get body blocked otherwise. Swing him in. Put all of his attacks into the Morsar. This is going to be 4 attacks with Geist 4 at 2s and 2s. That is 3 at -1.
It's gonna even out, so it'll be 4 ups. 2 go through.
D3. 3 damage. Then Sickle Glaive, 3s and 3s. 2s and 2s with his buff. That is 2 at -1. 2 4-ups. 2 damage. The Ebon Claws are on 3s and 2s. That is going to be 3 at -2.
5 ups. 2 go through.
2 damage each. And and the Spectral Claws are going to be on 4s and 3s. 6s here are mortals. That's going to be 1 mortal and 1 at Norend.
Oh, 1 more loose, I thought.
Your activation. Eidolon? Yeah. Still got flaming weapons, but he's not on the charge.
Yeah. So this will be 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 2s. So that will be 3 at -2.
3 at -2 on the graveyard, straight through.
That's 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay, 6s. Rerolling the 1s. Made 1 of those, so 8 dead.
And then 4 attacks. 3s. 2s. 1 at Norend. Or 1 at 1 run, sorry.
1 at 1 rend. 6. 1 damage.
Yep.
6. Another dead.
And then 2d6. 4. 4s. And 3s. That is 0.
Okay. 5s. How much damage?
1 damage.
6s. Made it.
Kinda don't mind that they didn't die.
They may yet. I've got an activation over here with the Blood Knights then. I'm just going to pile in around. They're at +1 and +1 from Manfred. Ten attacks with the Lances and Blades on 2s and 2s.
Oh, we'll get rid of them.
Sure. Your activation.
Oh, I don't have anything else.
Oh, okay. Skeletons then are going to activate twice, or can activate, and the zombies can still activate as well. I'm not sure whether I want them to. So I'm going to leave things where they are. I don't want to pull anything additional in, so I'm just going to attack the skeletons that are in range. Maybe adjust them a little bit, so a couple more get to swing, but that's going to be 12. And I'm going to do this twice, so I'll just roll all of them. Well, yeah, I'll just roll all of them together if that's fine with you. Sure. These are then on 3s. And 4s. That is 5 with no rend.
5 3. 1 goes there.
Okay. That was both of their activations. He's alive with 1 health, right? Okay. And then the zombies are eligible to pile in an attack, but I don't think I'm going to with them just because I want to keep the bodies there. So they're going to stay there. And I think that's going to bring us to the end of the combat phase. At that point, is Manfred wounded? I don't think so. No. The Blood Knight is going to recover from the hunger, gets 1 back.
I owe 1 battle shock. If I roll 6, I can fail. No.
I do owe a battle shock with the Graveguard. They lost 9. That is going to be 2 of them running away. The worst possible number.
Alright, so we can see where these come down and who gets priority, but so literally my only chance I feel is if they come down there, here, and then I get priority. So
sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for me.
Sure.
No, that's a bad start.
It's right in the middle.
No, it's right
so
there.
I did score.
You got that one,
2,
and you got your battle.
4 total. And then I'll roll for mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be
so
over
that's
that.
okay. And then we can roll for a priority.
Sure. 2. You got the choice.
God, you're keeping me alive. Alright, I'm going to take it just to make this game go a little longer.
Sure. Battle tactic.
I'll go with Monstrous Takeover. Yeah, I'm going to do Finest Hour with my general.
Got it. I will do free command point with the Necromancer. Got it.
Okay, he is going to attempt to cast Steed of Tides. He's going to get it on a 7.
I'm going to attempt to unbind with Manfred. I rolled a 7.
So it's going to go off. So he's going to pick himself. My Eidolon is going to try to cast Flaming Weapon. He's going to get it on an 11.
Attempt to unbind with Belladama Volga. It goes off.
Into movement. I think that's essentially all my movement. Into shooting, I'm going to put my shots into the skeletons. No.
That was from the shark?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will put my 8 shots into Gorslav.
Okay, this is from the turtle?
Yeah. 3s. 3 rolling 1s. And 3. So this will be 5.
At -1?
Yeah.
Okay, they go straight through. Pass offs to the zombies. Gonna pass 2 of them off. So on 6s, he takes all 3, and then the zombies will take both.
I am going to go into my charge phase. I'm going to attempt with the Eidolon first.
Sure.
9 looks
That'll
good
make it.
enough. It'll heal D3 wounds. For 1. Him.
3 inches. That'll do it.
On a 2 up. So this will be D3.
So, can you explain what this is?
This is his horn on the charge. So it'll be,
Going into the zombies?
yeah, it has to be the closest unit.
Okay.
So it's 2 wound.
2 wound?
D3.
Okay. 2 wounds?
Yep.
6s? Save 1.
And then I'll charge with my Leviathan. It's going to get in on a 9. I should probably end it there. Okay, so on a 2 up, this unit will take D6. Yes, D6 for 2.
6s.
And then into the skeletons. Yes, D6 for 2.
2. 6s. Rerolling 1s. Reroll the 1. 1 on dice.
Then the shark. Get in on it. Alright, so because it's high tide, which means I get to attack with all my units first.
You can do a monstrous action against Gorslav or the
Okay.
zombies.
I'm gonna stomp Gorslav.
Okay.
But he can still pass these off regardless, right? Well, I'll still stomp him. D3 for 3.
Okay. The pass-offs, I'll have to do these one at a time because of where he's at. So the first one, he passes off. Second one, he fails to pass off. Third one, he fails to pass off. So 1 zombie will die, and then he will survive with 1 wound left.
That really sucks. He is at the beginning of the combat phase, he is going to pull his Belshan, which means he can't use his shield, but he gets another attack, essentially.
Another profile, sure.
Another profile. So I'll attack with him first. So the Achillean King is going to put his Greatsword, zombies. The next two, him, Deep Mirror Slashing Tail, zombies.
Okay. He is -1 to wound and -1 damage on all profiles.
Okay. He is going to be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
This is into the zombies?
Yeah. Yikes. He'll wound. It's -1.
-1?
Yep.
It goes straight through.
D3.
-1. So 2 for 3.
Oh, 2. Perfect. And then the Falchion will be...
Oh, 6s. Okay.
This will be on 3s, rerolling 1s. And then on 4s. Just 1, no run.
Straight through.
It's this was on the course line.
Oh, this was on Gorslav.
Yeah.
Okay. 6. How much damage?
Just 1.
4
pass
off. 4 pass off. Nope. 6 up. He's done.
So this will be 3s. And this will be 3s. No reroll to wound. So this is just no rend.
Okay. Straight through. How much damage?
1.
Each.
It was just 1 damage.
Oh, it's just 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they failed. So 1 more dice.
Then I'll pile in with my... He'll put his top profile into the zombies, and then he'll put the rest into the skeletons.
Okay.
So this will be 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
This is into the zombies?
Yeah. Wounding on 3s. So this is going to be 5, Norton.
Straight through.
This is just 1 damage each, so 5.
5. That is going to be
6 ups.
Oh, 6
no.
ups, yeah.
Are they within hero? Yeah.
Made 1. 1 survives.
The worst. And then the rest of this stuff is going into Skellies. This will be 2s, rerolling 1s, 3s. I'll go through at -1 rend.
Okay. That puts them on 6 ups. How many? 4. 4. 6 ups.
That's going to be 16 damage.
Okay. Sixes. Reroll 1s. And that will save 2 of them, so a total of 14 dead.
And then the crushing jaws will have 2 hits, hitting on 2s, and wounding on 2s. Just 1 at -2. It's 3 damage.
Okay. 6s. That is going to be 3 more. Total of 17 dead there.
Then the shark will go. So this will be the barbed hooks and blades. It'll be 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Hitting on 3s. That will be 4 at no rend.
4 at no rend. 5 ups. Made 1.
Just 1 damage. Did you roll off? Yeah, you did. So it's just 1 damage each.
Okay.
3.
6s. 3 more.
This Ferocious Bite will have 4 attacks because you've had models slain. This will be 3s. Ugh. 3s. So it's just 1 at -2.
Goes straight through.
So that will be 2 damage.
Okay. 6s.
The guy will attack into your dude. 3s. 3. 1 at no rend.
1 at no rend. Saved it.
And then 3. And then D3. 3. Jeez. Then he'll go. So this will be 5 attacks. I'll spend all out attack.
Sure.
So this is going to be hitting on 2s.
I'm going to go all out defense.
Sorry, this is on 3s or only 1s. I'll go through. 2s. 4 at -2 run.
Okay, with the all out defense then, she'll be on a 5. And she will save 2 of those.
That's 8 damage.
8 damage. Then she's got 3 up pass offs. She's going to pass off all but 2. So the 6 ups for the wolves. That is going to kill 3 wolves. And her 6 ups, she's going to take 2.
These 4 attacks will hit on 2s.
It's 8 or 9.
And wound on 2s. 2.
Any red?
No. Oh, sorry, 1.
Okay, 4 ups then, so 1 goes through.
1 damage.
3 up pass off, yes. 6 up for the wolves. Take 1.
2d6. This will be hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s.
2 no red.
Yep.
Made him.
I think that's my team. You're
Okay. Could have gone worse, certainly. The first activation is going to be with the White King. He's just going to put all of his attacks into the eel here. These are on 3s and 3s. That is 3 at -1.
3 ups. Need 2, he's dead.
Okay. The zombie, brave zombie, is going to pile in an attack. He's going to put his attacks into the king. Misses. And then the skeletons are going to activate. So 1 died prior to the phase, but 5, 10, 15, 21 have died during the phase. So on 4 ups, they'll come back.
That's good than last time.
Yeah, this is much more average. 4, 8, 11 back. And then not really going to pile in with them. So I'm just going to get 8 attacks into the shark and 3 into the turtle. Into the turtle. 1 at no rend. And into the shark. 2 at no rend.
2 at Nora.
Yep.
So 3s. Yikes. 1 damage each.
1 damage each. Gonna then activate them again. I must have miscounted earlier there. 11's still dead, so I either didn't bring back enough or didn't roll enough dice before, but 11's still dead from this phase. Corpse. That'll be all but 3. So it's going to be 4 attacks on the king, 7 attacks on the turtle, 8 attacks on the shark. On the shark. Four at Norend. 4 3s. On the turtle, 7 attacks. That is going to be 2. Failed 2. And then on the king, that is going to be 3 at front.
5.
My last activation then is Belladama Volga. She's got 4 attacks with her cutlass. Three attack with her scimitar. These are going to be on 3s and 3s. 6s explode. So that miss becomes a hit because of the explosion. 3s to wound. 2 at -1.
This will be 2 corpse.
D3. 3 damage. And then the wolf attacks are 4s and 4s.
Why the wolves get to attack?
Oh, on her.
Yeah, her wolves. 1 at Norend. Her mount.
I'm pretty disappointed with how that went. I felt like I could have maybe got the skeletons off if the shark would have attacked a little bit better. And my monstrous takeover of this objective didn't end up working for me. I scored a couple objectives. At this point, I'm going to call it. I mean, I don't think it's... because I didn't get my battle tactic there, I'm pretty sure it's unwinnable, especially since I didn't claim all 3 objectives.
You get your battle tactic?
I needed monstrous takeover.
Oh, yeah. The skeletons are... I mean, they're showing here why they're making such a splash in the competitive scene. That ability to just soak.
Yeah.
And in this setup where you've got +2 to cast Van Hells, it becomes very reliable. When you've got Battle Shock immunity on them, you're not dumping command points into them because you are losing a lot of models. Pair it up with the Life Swarm, where that was brought back like 4, and Deathly Invocations, and the ability to use the spell to bring back 3 more.
And even just missing that last... I had a 1 in 6 shot of missing with the shark into your guy, or so that they couldn't pile in.
Yeah,
that
which it wouldn't have changed. It would have changed their output a little bit, but their job of just soaking up the objective still would have been done. Which is it's an interesting workaround to abilities like that where they just get placed.
It's hard when you play Deepkin like this. You see why you just take tons of eels, because the Leviathan's fine, but he doesn't do a lot of damage. The shark doesn't do a lot. You understand why a lot of the lists are just like 21 eels and then, or 24, and see what you can do.
People run those lists because they work. I do like the trick of the Reavers in the garrisonable terrain. It's kind of neat. Being able to charge in with a monster with 16-inch speed. From Manfred,
it's
then
hard.
Getting a nice charge.
You kind of want to, you kind of want to put it in the middle so that the Reavers can actually shoot stuff.
Yeah.
And not block it, but ultimately you might have to block it just to keep them in there.
Yeah, you almost need to screen it, and then it begins to beg the question of whether it's worth it if you're also investing in a screen for it.
I think 10 Reavers is a little bit of not enough, not impactful enough. You just don't get the weight of dice out of them. I think if you're going to run them, you need 30, just so you're actually rolling like 90 dice, and that by the end of saves, you're actually going to get maybe 10 through.
Yeah, you can't garrison them in that case, but you're putting through some real firepower then.
This army is just, when I say this army, Soulblight is just so good in melee. They're just so hard to compete with, just because Manfred's nearly impossible to kill. He's got the best buff in the game.
It's among the best buffs in the game, certainly. Yeah. There's a couple that compete with it in the Soulblight book, but hard to argue with a bubble like that.
The Morbig's Claw plus Cogs makes the magic just insane.
Yeah, you almost become a magic dom force. The spells, a lot of them are debuffs, and they're very good debuffs, but they don't have a lot of board impact. But just the volume of them you get to put out.
Yeah. The only thing I might have done differently is maybe have shot the... I don't even know if that would have mattered. Maybe have stayed in my castle a little bit longer instead of like breaking it at all early.
Sure. And this is a battle plan that you can afford to a little bit.
To stay in the castle longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, I mean, turn one, I did charge into your castle, right?
Yeah. And typically, I wouldn't have expected like much more than like one of those guys to die, but then I lost both. And then I think I made a big mistake turning the Morsar into Manfred when I did. So I just left him out.
I didn't. I expected Manfred to survive, and I expected him to swing back, but I expected him to take some damage and be tabled at that point, and then I didn't expect him to just wipe him.
You know what? They were in such a no man's land that they couldn't pile in and get it to your graveyard, and that you had the bottom half of that turn, so they were going to get charged by Manfred regardless, most likely. So they were kind of just in a rough spot.
Yeah, but this way I got to kill him on my turn, or on your turn instead of killing him on mine.
This is a tricky battle plan because you lose out on so many of your battle tactics early because there's just no objectives on the board.
Yeah.
You know, typically you can take some of the easy ones by just putting a monster on an objective or, you know, conquering.
And the battle tactics become even more important than normal because overall your score is going to be lower because the objectives aren't out there early.
Yeah.
So missing too early kind of spells doom. I think maybe the two most impactful moments of the game were Manfred killing your Eidolon turn one.
Yeah. Completely
unexpected. I really brought him in there hoping to destroy your shipwreck, which he did, and then just tank the Eidolon. Your save rolls were abysmal there, right?
Yeah. I had a bunch of like really, I don't like to blame the dice, but there was a few times like when I should have probably wiped that unit right off the board.
With the graveyard?
With the
Absolutely.
Graveyard.
Yeah, you made one of your 5 attacks there.
Yeah, and then I thought what was really consequential was just you rolling that 6 on your redeploy.
That was going to be the second impactful moment. That 6, being able to just shut off your battle tactic at that moment.
Yeah.
There are seldom points in a game where you can spend a command point and gain 2 victory points essentially from it, and that was one of them.
It like changed up my strategy totally. I was gonna shoot into them so that they couldn't pile, leaving them hopefully as sitting ducks, and then take them out.
Sure.
But then I switched up thinking I could maybe get the skeletons off the table, and I tried to delay attacking them for as long as possible, but there's only so many units that can attack.
And, you know, having them in Hunters of the Heartlands, the first time I ran them, they were effective, but I didn't have them in Hunters of the Heartlands. Having them in Hunters of the Heartlands so you can guarantee that they can get an all-out defense and go to that 4-up, which is it's a big break point. You know, then the Rend 1 attacks, you're still saving some of them. It just makes them a mess to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, you can imagine if you throw Mystic Shield on them as well, with the save stacking right now, there comes a point where they just become something that the opponent has to ignore.
Yeah. I liked the artifacts I had. I don't think the Tidecaster, I mean, he's still an objective at the end there, but I don't really think he has a role. He's more for the Futhon list where you can flip the tides, and then you might be going Reaver heavy, so you could be running and shooting first turn and you know, be more impactful that way.
Yeah, and then fight first turn 2.
Right. I think he doesn't really have a place in overall. If I was going to run the list again, you'd just drop him, drop the Reavers. That would give you like 230 points back.
That sounds like more eels.
Well, I would probably put in 3 more eels, and then I would actually bring some Aether Wings, just because like having Aether Wings early here would have been huge, because I wouldn't have minded flying them up the board, trying to tie up your units, and then not letting them move up. Whereas when you had, like, all my units felt too valuable to just put them into your ranks or to try to bottle you up.
Aether Wings feel like right now, for their points cost, maybe the best unit in the game.
Yeah.
They're hard to ever argue against.
Soulblight, every time I play against it, I'm impressed. It's got so many. There's really, I mean, there's probably 2 bad units in the whole army. I would say the wolves aren't great, and but they're still cheap.
They're a 20 wound screen that moves 10 inches. Their output is essentially nil, but they're kind of like the Aether Wings of the book.
Literally, they have I mean, Felbats are good.
Yeah, Felbats are fantastic.
They're pretty much, they are Aether Wings.
Yep, they cost 75 instead of, what are Aether Wings now? 55 now?
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they're not as good, but...
Literally, Black Knights are the only shitty thing in the whole army.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against
and
that.
I guess you could say some of the heroes that may be coming from...
Yeah, even there, watch Captain Halgrim is unplayably bad. But he's only 80 points or so, 85 points. So if you already have Gorslav, maybe you slot him in because you want an extra Warlord battalion. But the other heroes from Curse City are, for the most part, situationally usable.
It's so hard to kill heroes in this army. I mean, Volga passes off. Vladislav passes off. Manfred you can never attack. The Megorian Lords, which I noticed you never bring anymore because they're not very good, they put minus... They take away a Ren. Like, there's just so much stuff that like, every unit leader does that... It's just, there's so many different ways. This army's awesome. You just can build it forever.
Well, and I'm really leaning into, and I said it at the top, I'm leaning into this, having these relatively low-cost heroes who have significant impacts and can carry along buckets of wounds with them. Like Belladonna, 200-point 2-cast wizard, exactly what a 200-point 2-cast wizard should look like. Bring along for 135 points. Suddenly she's got not 9 wounds, but 29 wounds that you're trying to chew through.
Did you ever even bring... Doesn't she get to bring units on, or is that just...
She can cast Lichen Curse, and if Lichen Curse kills models, she spawns wolves. Against yours, I mean, the Reavers are the only real target there. I mean, she could maybe get a wolf somewhere if she finished something off. But, the Beast is the one that spawns a unit. But just the wound density in a list like this too. I mean, this feels almost like Hero Hammer. I'm running a 380-point hero, a 200-point hero, 130 and 125 and 75-point hero. All those points in heroes, and I'm still at something like 145 wounds in the list. Yeah. With 6 up Feel No Pains across the army. I think they're in a good place. I think they're definitely in a good place if you can figure out how to deal with shooting.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was helpful again that you were lower drop than me too, just because. Sure. You know, either way, it was kind of a useless first turn. And then kind of once you get on that second turn, and you're kind of forcing the other person to have to take the first turn, you're losing out on command points. You're setting yourself up for very influential doubles. I mean, being Modrot, I mean, I know a lot of people have been saying first turn isn't as bad. No, they don't mind having it, but I still think just getting on the second turn and then forcing really tough decisions on your opponent with a smaller board, that it's harder to, you know, it's a lot harder now than it was in the past to like hide on the backboard.
Forcing your opponent to have a bad first turn is, I think, maybe the biggest determiner to winning games in AOS.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's who gets the first impactful double. You know, a lot of people say that, but I think just the person who can force their opponent to have the first bad turn often wins. And being able to dictate that in a battle plan like this, being able to just sit back and be reactive is great. In some of the other battle plans where getting on the objectives first, when there are very few objectives on the board, in a small board, being able to dictate first turn in those situations is just as impactful in the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good game, Justin.
Yeah, good game.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.